how to keep going when life feels the same and it's like feels repetitive. And I feel like I've been in that situation before with like, work, school, and, football practice and with what I was doing in my life. But I knew that that's not going to be my whole life. I knew that wasn't going to be everything of my life. I knew that eventually it was going to change. I knew there was eventually going to be a break. And football, there's an end to a season. So I knew that would have stopped eventually. And then I also know that the work, I eventually will not be working there. And plus, I can take the opportunity to stop playing football. I can take the opportunity to stop working. Yes, it may not be beneficial for me, but I can also find a way that could be more beneficial for me by quitting my job. There's new chances that open up after quitting my job, possibly. Once you quit a job, you have more free time to do what you need to do, so you don't feel like as repetitive. You can do a new hobby, a new habit that you could pick up. Start going to the gym now because you have more free time because you don't go to football practice or you don't have practice, or you just got to realize that eventually after a time, whatever it may be will come to an end. Some things are very temporary, but some things are, gonna be for a while, however you want it to, last for. And you have the opportunity. I could work in this job for the rest of my life if I really wanted to. I could be there for 60, but that's not what I want to do. So eventually, I'm gonna have to like move on with my life and move into different opportunity. So I go in with that mindset, saying, hey, I know this isn't gonna be forever. I know I only be able to do this. This is only a small fraction of my life, and once I close this door, another one opens. Another window opens, another door opens. Sometimes it may not be a door, like I said, it's a window. But another opportunity opens once you close a old pathway, an old doorway to an opportunity that you did have. And that's with like an opportunity that I had was getting my job. But once I quit my job, a new opportunity will open up in the job world, and the new opportunities will come to me because I have more free time. I'm not putting my time and effort to that. That's not what my brain level is kind of like on. Like my mindset is kind of on, like working there, making money there. And also another thing is trying to find a hobby or habit that you could do throughout the day to help you, change up your schedule. Like mine is making and filming a video. I have to talk about something different every single day to post consistently. I also have to put on a different fit every single day if I want to post consistently on Instagram for outfit of the day, right? So I have to think differently, and I have to speak like kind of differently. I have to I have to edit things a little bit differently. I have to change the song. So there's things that I'm doing. Yes, I'm kind of doing a similar thing by filming every single day, but in my task, I'm doing something completely different. It's not the same exact as yesterday. I'm wearing a completely different fit from yesterday. I'm editing my video a little bit different from yesterday because it sounds different, or I'm trying to I come up with a better idea how to engage people. And then also with this, I have more time to, talk about things, or I have a different topic that I want to talk about, or some things that I want to get on. And then also with the same thing, the only thing that's repetitive with this YouTube stuff is uploading the shorts, and that's the only thing that is the upload process. That's the only thing that's repetitive. But the whole process and progress of it is not repetitive. So only the results is really the only thing that's the same. But it's really not, because I get different views on each video. I get different results on each video. I get more comments, and then plus I interact with like-minded people who want help, people that are looking for help, or people who want a YouTube video like this, or and I'm putting it out there and I'm helping somebody. I'm more appreciative, and I would much rather do that with not being paid at all, with I'd rather do that for the rest of my life, kind of just help somebody, be able to have an impact and change on the world, because that's what will measure your successes as well, the impact and change you leave on this world. Another thing being said is, with the hobbies and habits, pick up going to the gym, try eating new foods, try cooking dinner at the end of the night instead of getting takeout, or if you cook dinner every night, try to get takeout a little, here and there, or some shit like that. It may not be the best financially wise sometimes, but just get it here and there, fuck it. Change up your schedule a little bit, start reading, start meditating, start, going to sleep at a different time so you can wake up earlier, so you can start doing different things, a little bit, so you have a little bit more free time to do what you need to do, like play the video game if you want to, or go outside for a walk, or go for a jog, or whatever it may be. There's different possibilities of what you could do to change your schedule. And you also get hobbies, habits to help change your schedule, and also realizing that whatever it is not going to last forever. It's a temporary thing. It's only a fraction of your life.